Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. If this is your first time here, then welcome. If you've been here for a second or third time and you just stopped by but you don't hit the subscribe button, the numbers matter. Please hit that subscribe button for me, because I know you always come back and hear me speak my speech. Even if it's something you don't like, you gonna get a laugh out of it, honey. So tonight we are reviewing Seeking Sister Wife. Okay, y'all know it's Monday night, so honey, it's time for the madness. Seeking Sister Wife season 3 episode 6. Got to be real, honey, and it don't get no realer than this. So let's get into it. Okay, so y'all know last episode we left off with Danielle going to keep the books, honey, and Garrick and Roberta having some alone time. Okay, so over in Cabo we see disgusting Garrick and his little hot tamale Roberta going on their first solo date. Okay, Garrick is taking her on a boat ride. So he's like, yeah, I'm really excited, but Danielle is on my mind. No, she's not, honey. The only thing on your mind is Roberta in her little Brazilian bikini and whether or not Danielle is doing that proper bookkeeping for that business, honey. That's all you worried about. You are clearly not worried about Danielle. Okay, so he's like, she will be alone, but this is what happens in a plural lifestyle. I mean, she's just gonna have to get used to it. Child, okay, honey. That's just what you keep telling yourself in order for you to feel better about the way you are treating this lady, who is actually your wife slash your ex-wife slash sister wife. Honey, it's just so much going on. Boy, hush. Anyway, once they get on the boat, he cannot wait to take Roberta's clothes off, honey. He is undressing her from head to toe. So he instantly undresses her and tells her and then he tells us in the Brazilian culture, wearing string bikinis is normal. Now, Roberta got a nice little body on her. I have to say that. She has a nice little shape on her, but at the same time, yuck, okay? So then he says, too bad that she wants to wear that life jacket. Oh my God, he's such a scumbag, child. Garrick makes me itch, okay? Every time I see him, I break out in hives, honey. He legit makes my skin crawl. They begin their little excursion, and Roberta says, it was amazing, and all I could think of was him and me at the bottom of the sea. What about sister? Are you thinking about sister at the bottom of the sea? Little Mermaid? Child, anyway. So then she says, I keep thinking about Danielle. Oh, okay, there's Danielle, honey, because I was wondering what happened to sister. Then we see Danielle walking alone on the beach, honey. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. She says she's taking some time to think and reflect. I hope you are thinking and reflecting on how to get the hell up out of this situation. I hope so. Okay? Yesterday, she said yesterday, she called her sister-in-law. Okay? And so then she starts to talk to her, and she said, yesterday they dropped a bomb on me about the sex, and I kind of feel a way about it. And she feels she needs time to get used to being alone and Roberta being with them every day. Yes, get used to being alone, because you will be that all the time, honey. That little twerp cannot be trusted. Honey, get you a tan and a new man while you on this beach. I'm just saying, honey. Looking a little pale, child. You don't even have your color anymore, because you're so consumed with trying to make sure Garrick, what kind of name is Garrick? Like, who does that? Anyway, trying to make sure that he's okay. Honey, take care of you. Lay out. Get a little bit of sun on that skin, honey. Let your hair down, shake it around a little bit, and find you one of them cute men, honey. Try worrying about him. So anyway, so the sister-in-law says, are you having fun? She said, well, it's been hard, and, Roberta told me that she and Garrick had a quickie on the first night. I'm glad you know it was a quickie, honey. You went over there and changed your clothes and came back and had sex. Oh, 1 minute, man. Honey, let Roberta have that child. Honey, he looks inadequate. So I would definitely let her have it. He's not a prize. Danielle is saying saying Roberta told her intimacy wasn't important to her, but then they had sex when she put her PJs on. Okay, now Danielle, you cannot blame Roberta for Garrick. Garrick has a responsibility to you, not her. I know y'all are in this plural relationship, but she's just being added. So she's in addition to you are the wife. Well, you were the wife. Well, you and him had an understanding. So he lied about it, tried to keep it a secret. And if it wasn't for Roberta, you wouldn't even know. So honey, don't put this around. Don't turn it around on her. It's him. So she asks, well, how does that make you feel? She was like sex was really important to her. No, it was important to him. She said, if it was up to me, this is what she's saying in her confessional. She said, well, if it's up to me, I wouldn't choose this lifestyle, but it's what God put in our path. Danielle, a word, honey. Let me have a word with you. This is not God, honey. God actually hates divorce. Let's start there. Secondly, this is your greedy ex-husband using religion to get you to blindly follow him. Okay? You just are doing it to hold on to him, honey. Let it go. Child, do not say that no more. Don't say that anymore because that does not make any sense. We know you don't like this. We can tell. It's written all over your face. The only person that doesn't care is Garrick. Even Roberta can see that you're unhappy. So she said, life is so busy back home. You know how it is when you have kids. So we barely got time to spend together. So things have been a little awkward. Well, honey, he got time to spend with her. Child, girl, if you don't wake up. She said, she knows that Roberta and Garrick will be spending a lot of time together back home because they are building up their relationship. She just hopes God will cure her of her insecurities because she fears that he will run off with Roberta. Well, let me give you some advice, Danielle. Go to your room, get down on your knees and pray and ask God for a sign. He's going to tap you on your shoulder and say, clock out for me. Honey, it's done. It's over. He can't be trusted. Roberta is the only one that cares. And quite frankly, really, quiet as it's kept, you're not actually in a relationship with Roberta. Both of you are sharing the same husband, but you and her are not in a relationship. Or are you in a relationship? Honey, how does this work? All I'm saying is run to the nearest airport, get on the plane, and head on back down to Colorado, girl. Anyway, over at the Snowdens, okay? We have Taylor and Dimitri going out on a dinner date. Taylor got a little fitted dress on, trying to look like something, okay? So Dimitri was like, I'm a husband, a business owner, and a bore, honey, because every time I look at Dimitri, I'm just like, ooh, snooze fest, child. So he's wondering if she will get bored with him. Well, honey, I am, and I'm just watching you on TV, so I guess if you need a place to stay like Taylor, you'll keep yourself interested. Okay, Taylor said all the physical things on her list he checks off for her. Okay. Dimitri said with all that we have going on with the kids, etc., she just might get overwhelmed. So Taylor said, she's loving single life, don't get her wrong, but she's ready to end the single life. She said one day, I'm not going to lie to you, I may wake up and miss sleeping in on a Saturday. Let me just tell you right now, Taylor, you will, because once you get surrounded by kids, you'll never sleep again, just so we're clear. She asked, well, how can we make sure that we get independent time? Oh, Taylor, that's so cute. Independent time with 5 kids. Isn't she cute? Everybody out there in YouTube land, all of my mothers that watch these reviews, please comment down below when you get independent time. Child, she's so silly. He said for him, it's listening. He said him and Ashley have been together for 10 years. They have to work at it. It's not easy. And being married is much different from when they were boyfriend and girlfriend. So she was like, I feel like you are leading this, like saying all these things to make me run, like just run away. He tells her, no, I'm just leading with the real. It's more than paying the mortgage and giving good D. Taylor, you are romanticizing this whole thing. But when reality sets in, honey, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. Okay. So then she tells him, well, speaking of the D, we do have a schedule. And he's like, oh, okay, do tell. She says that her, Crystalline, and Ashley are all privy to this information. So he says, so y'all just gonna tell me what you gonna do with my penis? She was like, you mean our penis? Ugh. Okay. Ooh, child. Then he says that sex is off the table, but she looking real good in that dress. See? He looked like the type to sneak around, honey. And y'all know he can't be trusted from previous if you've been keeping up with this show since season 1. Then he says, you have to wait 21 days, and it's 21 days from the date we choose each other. Child, I would be like, look, as hot as I am, honey, I'm going to get chose just walking to the mailbox. So, if you want to, you can. If you don't, then I'm cool with that too. Honey, I would not be dealing with him, daddy daycare, all those rules, child, alkaline diets and watermelon seeds and all that. Girl, I ain't got time for all that, okay? Taylor don't care about none of those rules, honey. She just wants to stay in LA by any means necessary. So he says, she was like, well, am I able to voice my opinion or my wants? I know all the rules are being given, but am I able to say what I want? And he's like, well, if I'm underserving you, then please let me know. Child, he's still concerned about if she's going to be okay with these kids. Honey, they just want y'all to watch these kids. And quite frankly, this whole scenario with the whole sister wife thing, just looking at this show, it tells me that this is only to serve the man. Honey, y'all getting the short end of the stick, child. Over in Boise, we're keeping up with the Joneses, honey. Tasha Jones in them, honey. Because, Tasha got that black girl name. They're taking pics for their profile. And so, He was saying, Sidian was saying, it's been tough that they've been ghosted, blocked, dumped, honey, led astray, bamboozled, hoodwinked, honey, all that. So Tasha says, we're trying more mainstream apps because they are starting to be more forward thinking. So they definitely want kids. They want to expand. And so they're hoping that they can find someone that can do that. Honey, they wasn't really popping this episode. So let's move forward. Over in Utah, we see the Winders or the Winders because of COVID. Kimberly couldn't come out, and that's the other potential sister wife, okay? So Colton says, it's just a setback, but it's okay because we want everyone to stay safe, okay? So Sophie is getting a doula to come help her with like her birthing moves and her plans and everything. So Tammy said, who was the first wife, said hopefully Sophie having a baby will help them bond. So at 40 weeks and 4 days, Sophie went into labor. Sophie's mom is there helping and everything. And so this is the part that tripped me out. She was in there having contractions, labored breathing and all kinds of stuff. And Colton was with Tammy because it's her day. Child, look, if I'm in labor, it's my day all day long, honey, until this baby gets here. Child, it's our day. Honey, y'all so silly. Colton, eventually she said I couldn't take it anymore, and I told my mom to go and get Colton. So Colton drives her to the hospital. Back in LA with the Snowdens, honey, today is Taylor's last day. Dimitri said, Taylor provides a lot of fun. Childish, honey, got nowhere to sleep. And they start talking about her leaving, right? So she says, I don't want to talk about me leaving. And so Ashley said, well, I'm going to be sad that you have to go. Taylor said, about that, do I have to leave? Homeless. I told y'all last review, Taylor does not have a place to lay her head down, honey. Oh my goodness. Ashley said, is that a question to me? She said, I'm just not excited to go home when my family is here. Lady, you've known them people for a few months, child. Slow down, honey. Talking about your family is here. That is creepy. Anyway, Ashley said, you don't have to leave. She probably was thinking, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the heck out of here, honey. Because we haven't talked about you staying, okay? Taylor said, I enjoy being here and I don't want to leave. She said, I would like to stay. Dimitri said, stay now? You mean after the trip, you come back, right? She said, well, I can go and settle up my endeavors and come back. Child, she means pay her final week at the extended stay hotel. Girl, you ain't got nothing to tie up, child. Who in their right mind will just decide on a whim that's in a lease or living with a roommate or has any adult things to tie up, just says, hey, I'm here for a day, I'm just going to stay. Girl, gone with that, honey. This does not sound like a lady who had a stable environment to live in, okay? So over back at the Winders, Colton says they're still waiting and things are still going well. And Sophie ends up having the baby. She delivers baby Ephraim. Okay, they bring the baby home and introduce him to his big sis. So Tammy thought that if she held the baby that it would make her feel some kind of way, but she actually felt okay with it. That's all we have for the Winders this episode. Let's move forward. Back on Lover's Island, okay, that's what I've deemed it. Okay, I've named it Lover's Island. Roberta and Garrick are still enjoying their time together. So Roberta asked Garrick how he was, right? So he said, I'm good. And he's glad her and sister are getting to know each other. And she's getting to see her weaknesses and her insecurities. What? First of all, Garrick, those aren't weaknesses, honey. They are valid human emotions. When you see a man you've loved for over 10 years with another woman, emotions will happen. Honey, that's what happens when you actually care about someone. We know you're not used to that. Anyway, so he says he thinks sister felt emotional when you told her about the sex. Once again, you know what? You and Danielle might be good for each other, honey. She's blaming it on Roberta and now you blaming it on her. Roberta was just trying to be honest because you're a liar and a cheater and a deceiver and a heartbreaker. Child, anyway. So he says she was emotional about the sex, even though it wasn't planned and it was just a quickie. He want to make sure he throw that out there, honey, because we all know he's a 1 minute man. Okay. Roberta said, I always thought if you were in a plural relationship that you would be free, but her heart's in it. And it must be hard for Danielle seeing her husband with another woman, and it's making her apprehensive. Garrick starts lying into the phone, honey, to translate some bull. Okay. Saying, well, when we get back to Colorado, it'll be more balanced. Not on a vacay where I have to just focus more so on you because I don't get to see you often. Honey, Roberta's sitting there looking confused and bewildered because she knows it's a lie. In whatever language you say it in, it's a lie. Okay? So then Garrick says he knows that when they get back, Danielle will be sad about them being with Roberta and about him spending more time with her. So Roberta says in the confessional, it makes me nervous because I feel she will be jealous of me and I won't be able to be with him if the sister is hurt. Okay, so Roberta is saying, look, if Danielle is not on board, then I'm not on board. Honey, I know Garrick wants to jump off that boat with no life jacket, okay? Because he does not want to lose his little hot tamale, okay? So then he says, well, God is on our side, so we can trust he will get us through. Garrick, shut up. Anyway, Roberta said, yeah, but just know I can't be with you if she's unhappy. Roberta said, say what you want, honey. If she is not happy, it's not happening. I'm telling you right now. Child, and listen, Danielle, this will be the only reason Garrick will keep up appearances with you because he wants to be with Roberta. Honey, girl. Roberta said, Garrick is trying to convince me that little by little Danielle will come around, but he needs to be rational because these are people's hearts he's dealing with. And if sister is not happy, neither am I, and I will leave. Garrick gonna say, I hope not because I can't live without either one. Child, I'm not buying it, honey. I'm not buying nothing you selling, honey. Back in La La Land with the Snowdens, Taylor is saying, I would like to stay and never go home. And baby, they are shocked. Dimitri said, well, what about all your stuff? She said, it's not as important as you guys have become, aka the duffel bag in the closet is all my stuff. Child, what are you talking about? Girl, you ain't got no home, honey. Taylor said, they renewed my faith in love. Oh, girl, your faith in a good mattress and running water. Honey, we know. Anywho, Ashley and Dimitri, they think it's flattering, but they haven't had time to talk about it. So Taylor said, why aren't y'all saying yes? Like, there's an awkward silence. Y'all not saying much. Like, do you want me to stay? And Dimitri said, he's pausing because of the kids. Oh, now y'all thinking about the kids. Taylor, I don't really think they that into you, honey. But, they gonna let you stay because they need somebody to watch the kids on Friday, okay? They call Crystalline because they use her as an excuse, hoping Crystalline will say no, honey. Crystalline was like, yes. So they called Crystalline to see how she feels. And they said if Crystalline says no because they've been dating her first and longer, then the answer will have to be no, right? So, child, they call all the way to South Africa. Hello. Hey, Crystalline, we have some news. She was like, okay, say it. What's happening? So they asked her how she would feel about Taylor staying. Crystalline said, oh, I'm on board with it, honey. Throw the duffel bag in the trash, honey. Stay. Please stay. Child, Chris don't want y'all either, honey. She just wanted a trip to the States. A vacay, if you will, okay? Crystalline back at home with her legs kicked up, child. Her family doesn't even know who y'all are, okay? The Snowden said, we would love for you to stay. But I'm sure Ashley was just thinking, yes, a sitter. And Taylor is thinking, I can finally get off my mom's couch and into a bed. And that concluded this episode's review, honey. But next episode, Taylor is calling her mom to see how her mom feels about her staying. AKA, Mom, I'm not going to be back to sleep in the basement. You can go ahead and make that into your gym like you've always wanted to do. Thank you guys so much for listening. If this review has entertained you in any way or you liked any part of it, please do not hesitate to subscribe, like, and share. Hit that notification bell so you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.